1963 for Hugh Mercer. Now, Hugh Mercer was a known, well, not really known, but a rumored worshiper of the Greek god Dionysus. Now, Dionysus really loved his, he was the god of debauchery and wine, so to say. And he could make men do terrible things, but also give them a life of lavish lifestyle. You know, just having fun all the time, just have a great lifestyle. John Norris was the architect. Did I say it right? Architect. Edit that out. John Norris was the architect. Now, I have a really good friend who actually found his notes for the original house, and he put secret occult architecture into the house, specifically Dionysus. Now, Dionysus could make men do terrible things, right? Everyone has lived here has killed someone and has gotten away with it. They have all lived a lavish lifestyle. Hugh Mercer killed 6 slaves, never served jail time. The next man, 1902, killed his wife and then proceeded to fall off the balcony, breaking his hip and neck and dying. The next owners were actually the Shriners. They used this as their Shriners temple. They would actually hold wild orgies in this place and run their motorcycles up and down the hallways. From 1960 to 1970, it was abandoned. During that time, a young boy named Tommy Downs would break into the building here with his friends, and he was going pigeon hunting on the roof of the house when he falls off of that roof and is impaled in the head on the fence below. Now, that did happen in 1969. That's Tommy Downs himself.
Was he this young when he died?
11 years old, yes ma'am. The next person to own it was Jim Williams. He was a rich antique dealer here in Savannah. He was very eccentric. Let's say he had a belief in voodoo that was really, really big. In his study here with the lights on the left side of the door, he has Hitler's uniform on a mannequin. The knife that killed Rasputin, he used that as a letter opener. Yeah. And of course,
was that a twisted blade? Wasn't it like spiral blade or something?
No, I mean, it was a straight blade.
Just a straight blade, okay.
The twisted blade became a relation.
Okay.
Now, of course, he believed in voodoo, and he would always use the services of one Miss Minerva in the book. In real life, it was Catherine Bowles. She died in 1999. Her husband was Dr. Buzzard, his voodoo name. His real name is Stephanie Robinson. When he died, she got the mantle of voodoo priestess here in the Low Country, and she was the go-to person. To give you an idea of how much a spell cost, in the 1800s, a love spell was almost $100. So in the 1970s, imagine how much it cost. Now, Jim Williams hired a young man named Danny, who was a male prostitute here in the city. He was 21 years old. He was hired to work in his art shop behind the house there, fixing up paintings and restoring old pictures. And Jim Williams paid for his drugs and his liquor on the side for a little tail on the side. You see, Jim Williams is also very, very gay. Now, one day, Danny comes into his house, into his office after a Christmas party, drunk, high, whatever. Jim says he pulls a gun and shoots him twice but misses. Jim says he then pulls his own gun out of the desk drawer and shoots Danny dead. Once here, and once in the back of the head, execution style. You know, because of self-defense. Now, Mr. Williams and Miss Minerva would perform rituals at Dr. Buzzard's gravesite in Beaufort, South Carolina. From 11:30 to midnight is good magic. From midnight to 12:30 is working bad magic. That's where you get midnight in the garden of good and evil. Alright? Okay. Jim Williams went through 4 murder trials and was finally acquitted of all charges and set as a free man. 9 months after he was acquitted of all charges, he was found in the study no more than 2 feet from the body of Danny, where Danny laid out when he shot him, dead of a possible coronary question mark on his death certificate. Yeah. Now there is a thing that is grown locally here in Savannah on the island. It's called a blue root. The voodoo priests take that root, grind it into dust, mix it with graveyard dirt bones, say an incantation over it. They then put that dust on things you touch every single day, like your car door handle, your house door handle, your hotel door handle. Once that dust gets in your system, you have like 4 hours to live. It causes a coronary. It is believed Miss Minerva dusted Jim Williams for services not paid. You see, 4 murder trials will break any man, no matter how rich you are. Now, they don't do drive-bys in Savannah, no. We do dusting bys. What you do is wait till it hits in a large crowd. You give a small kid the vial of the blue dust. He runs up to you, sticks you with it. All you feel is a pinch, like maybe a mosquito or who knows, right? You have 4 hours to live. The only cure is at the Center for Disease Control in Atlanta, which is 4.5 hours away. When they do an autopsy, they find nothing wrong with the body because it's all natural ingredients. They can't find any poisons or anything. It's a perfect crime. If you want to know how to make that blue root,